In Your Vote 2024, California's 20th congressional district will hold a special primary tomorrow to fill former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy's old seat for the rest of the term.
This special election comes as the GOP is dealing with a razor-thin majority in the House, and Congress faces a possible partial government shutdown in a few days. Our Washington correspondent Julia Benbrook joining us live from the Capitol with why this specific seat is so significant. Julia.
Well, with House Republicans operating with a razor-thin majority, every seat is significant right now. And then, of course, McCarthy's name elevates it a little bit more. Now, we already know that a Republican will be filling McCarthy's old seat in January of 2025. We know that because California uses a top two primary, and the top two candidates on Super Tuesday were both Republicans. So that runoff will take place in November. Now, tomorrow's special election is to start the process of selecting someone to finish McCarthy's current term. After former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy was ousted from his leadership position, he made the decision to step down from Congress, making a narrow House majority even smaller.
I will be departing, but that doesn't mean I'll stop serving.
The California Republican spent much of his 17 years in the House serving in leadership, and became House Speaker last year after a historic 15 rounds of voting. His hold on the gavel lasted just 9 months until the right flank of his party, upset with the then Speaker for putting a stopgap spending bill on the floor with the help of Democrats, launched a successful bid to vacate him from his leadership role.
He didn't have enough votes to spare, meaning he had to try to satisfy everyone and ultimately satisfied no one. They ultimately ended up looking for different leadership.
Selecting a new speaker was a complicated process as well. After several rounds of closed-door voting, Republicans selected Mike Johnson of Louisiana as their nominee.
Speaker Johnson's in the exact same position, and potentially even harder, given that there has been some departures. There's been the ouster of George Santos. There's a narrowing of what was already a really historically small majority.
Johnson has his work cut out for him this week as lawmakers scramble to avert a partial government shutdown ahead of a federal government funding deadline in just a few days. And after months of averting shutdowns at the 11th hour with stopgap measures, Congress finally passed a package of 6 bills in early March to fund a slate of government agencies through the end of the fiscal year. But the work isn't over yet. There are some key government operations that still need to be funded before the end of the day on Friday. Reporting live in Washington, D.C., Julia Benbrook, Wish TV.